Thank you for tuning in to TalkWad.com, the world's fastest growing internet radio network. Please check out all the other great shows on www.talkwad.com.
TalkWad Radio Network welcomes you to the SpiritPioneers.com channel, where you can find Momma J Speaks, also simulcasted on theartsradio.com channel as well. Hello, everyone, to the Momma J Speaks show. I'm very excited to be here this fourth day of February. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm super excited because I have two guests again. Yay!
Hello.
This is Colin all the way over there and Aya right next to me.
How you doing?
Hello.
And they are from the tribal Celtic group Abenach. Did I do that right?
Albanach.
Abenach.
Got to get the
Ugh.
at the end, yeah.
Yeah, they're straight from Scotland. Love it. I came across them over the weekend. I was at the Highland Games over in Sarasota, and me and my confident self went right over to them and said, "You want to be on my show?"
She bullied us, isn't it?
So anyway, everyone that's watching this evening, I appreciate it. I thank you. It's because of all of you and everybody that I work with, which is my internet radio family. I was actually voted for the best show on the Arts radio station. Yay! Look, I have a little trophy right
Trophy
there.
and everything.
Woohoo! So I'm very excited, and therefore I really hope everyone will keep tuning in. This evening we're going to have an interview with this wonderful Celtic tribal group, kind of dive into a little bit of their culture, where they're from, how they got into music and everything. And then later on in the show, we're going to have a call-in guest by the name of Steve McAllister, and he's going to be calling us from Sarasota, Florida, and talking about his life off the grid for the past year or more. And that should be rather interesting. And that'll be in the later part of the show. And as you all know that have been tuning in with me for a little bit now, I will at some point throw in affirmations or questions to get your mind going and your spirit moving as well. So, how are you guys doing? How's your weekend?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty
Good,
good.
aye. Still kind of detoxing from it, to be honest.
Oh, really? Detox?
That's why I've got a sweaty sheen.
Oh. Was it scotch or beer?
Beer.
Oh, beer.
Yeah.
Scottish.
Mostly
Mostly beer, yeah.
Yes. So welcome both of you to my
having us.
show.
Thanks.
Thank you for being so gracious to say, yeah, we'll come find you.
No problem.
So, let's see. There is what, 5 or 6 of you in your group?
5 of us.
5 of us.
5 of you. Okay. And when you all came together, were you all like friends from childhood or something, or?
No, well, I've known Jackie for about 17 years.
Oh, she's like a childhood friend then.
Well, me, Jackie, and James used to do like stunt fighting.
Really?
Movies and TV shows and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so
I thought you looked familiar.
Nothing major, you know. But we'd go and we'd camp out and we'd do these films, and once we were finished filming, we'd get the pipes and drums out. And then it
Oh.
kind of snowballed from there. And then Jackie and James went on to form a band. And then we'd do shows together where I'd be doing sword fighting and they'd be playing music. And then eventually they asked me to be in the band. And then that band fell apart and we started Albanach. So we had that going for a couple of years. And then our lead drummer dropped out. And then just by sort of pure chance, we found Colin.
Colin the Savior.
Yep.
Yeah, the saviour of Albanach.
The hired gun, yeah. Yeah, I was just kind of one of those fortunate situations, you know. I was kind of looking for work at the time, still playing music and other bands, but not really having a lot of work. So yeah, I just got a phone call one day asking if I wanted to go to Florida in January, which I jumped at the chance at because it's pretty cold in Scotland in January. So
Yeah, it's snowing over there right now, right?
yeah, I
Yep.
think so. Yeah, so,
I've never been to Scotland, but it's on my bucket list. So,
yeah,
Worth going,
definitely do it.
but
Yeah.
kind of go like July, August time.
oh, really? That's a good time to go?
Was as good as any. You got a better chance with the weather then. You know.
But see, here in Florida, you don't want to be in Florida around July or August because it's like sweltering hot over here.
I've been here.
Yeah, I've been here
around
before.
that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Disney
brilliant.
World. Have you done the Disney World? Yeah.
yeah, did it when I was 11. Yeah,
We're going to be playing in Disney at the end of this tour, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Fantastic. So, everyone out there, if you wanted to catch these guys, go to Disney on what date?
Oh, that's a good question. It's kind of they're doing a St. Patrick's Day sort of.
yeah
Okay.
it's weekend of
over that.
17th.
That's the day before my birthday.
Is it?
Oh, good
Yes.
stuff.
So, I'm a St. Patty's birthday 18th. So, I get to my running joke is I go to the Irish pubs when I don't have a big party of people to hang out with, and I say, "Oh, it's my birthday." So I get a bunch of 100 people saying happy birthday, and I suddenly feel like, "Oh, I know so many people on my birthday." It's really cheesy and corny, but hey, I'm kind of like that, okay? So anyways, so what was it about the drumming? Like, did you guys do the drumming and bagpipes when you were kids, or was it something you just kind of fell
I did.
into?
Yeah, I did. I was started off playing in a pipe band, which is the full kind of marching band, which is usually consists like between like 20, 25 pipers, and then a drum corps, which is maybe about like maybe 7 or 8 drummers. So all my family basically played in this pipe band. So my dad, my uncles, my cousins and stuff. So when we growing up, it was basically either learn the pipes or learn the drums.
Oh,
So I started playing drums when I was about maybe 8 years old,
wow.
and then just played with the pipe band for
No pressure
place.
there.
no pressure at all. It was actually just a kind of babysitting thing, really. It was just to keep an eye on the kids,
Oh,
so we
okay.
wouldn't get into trouble. But the band we did a lot of gigs across in Europe and stuff, in Spain, Portugal, even Israel as well.
Oh, wow.
So just kind of a bunch of kind of traveling band, I suppose. But you do the kind of competing side of things as well. You get competitions and stuff you play. At.
Right. The bagpipe competition?
Yeah.
Because that was there this weekend at the Highland Games
Yeah, they
that
usually do,
you
yeah.
guys did. They're all clean cut guys.
Yeah,
Very-
you get a lot of that in Scotland. It's more kind of it's called like kind of the World Championships, and you just go
Really?
with it a whole year. They take your time to actually you play different competitions, then mark up a score, and you get into the finals and stuff. It's quite official, and there's a lot of politics involved. So
Wow. It's like the Olympics of bagpipe.
pretty much, yeah.
And the Celts, right?
Yeah.
Celtic- The is that what they call the skirts? I just had a
Kilt.
kilt.
Kilt,
Kilt's what the
Kilt.
pipe band wears. What we wear, the version we wear is a bit longer. There's more material.
Oh.
That's called the Great Kilt. and
Oh,
that's
really?
How it was traditionally worn. And so it's one big long flat piece of material, and you lay it out flat on the ground, and then you put the pleats in the back yourself, and then you lie down and wrap it around you.
Wow, there's a lot to go through this process of
Oh, you don't
Putting-
just fling it on, no.
no.
It's a long, annoying process.
Oh, so you literally have to roll yourself like a sausage in a sense?
No, you just kind of lies flat and then just kind of wrap it around you, you know.
Oh, okay, and then hurry up, put the belt quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hang up with
yeah.
the belt, yeah, and just hope it stays together when you stand up.
Kind of like a burrito.
Oh, wow. I am so happy that you guys are here because I'm learning a lot just in this little bit of time frame that you guys have a.
Get a lot of scrappy
Been here.
knowledge from us, but nothing hardcore, you know.
Oh, it's okay. Everybody has gifts and talents no matter what, and God gave it to y'all no matter what. So, gotta live it up. So, we want to say a shout out to the other members of Albanach. Knock.
Nah.
Knock. Jamesy, Bodaher. Who is it?
Nah, it's Jamesy. He's on the bass drum.
Jamesy, Donald,
Donnie
Jackie.
and Jackie, and that's it.
Oh, and that one is bye.
That's the name of that drum. I
That's the
think.
name of the
it.
drum that I play.
Yeah.
Baran.
Oh, Baran.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some person.
No, no.
That's
There's
a
only
drum.
room for one weird name in the band. And that's mine. So.
Oh, okay. So what is the bodhrán?
It's traditionally it was like an Irish hand drum. It's got
Okay.
a natural goat skin head in it, and you play it with it's called a tipper. It's like a stick with two ends in it,
Right.
and you can kind of hit with both ends.
Oh,
And you can
okay.
put your hand behind the back of the skin and manipulate it that way to change the tone and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Not that I'm very good at that, right enough. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. But you do the bagpipes, don't you?
No.
No, you don't
No.
do the
No, no.
bagpipes.
That's Donnie.
Donnie does the bagpipes.
Yeah.
I think did I talk to him? Maybe he
Did you talk to someone you couldn't really understand?
Yeah.
That's Donnie.
That's
yeah.
He
Donnie.
was he at the table?
Yeah, he would have been, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one I talked to. He
The wee guy.
he was kind. He's like, "Here you go."
Uh,
I'm like, "Okay, thank you so much." And then for you, Colin,
it's Callan, sorry.
you went Colin. Okay. Going Americanized on me,
I know,
huh?
that's the only way to get my point across.
The drum that you play in the group, it's a big
Yeah,
one.
well, it's kind of the main drums really. It's just two big kind of toms, kind of floor toms. One's 22-inch, one's 16-inch, and then just a little like kind of almost like a timbale, I suppose, just a snare with the snare off. And just I kind of just circulate around those three drums and try and keep some rhythm going.
So you're the rhythm guy, huh? If you
Yeah.
go off, everybody else goes off.
No, not really. No. I just kind of am the meat in the sandwich. I
It's the
Oh.
suppose.
engine room.
Oh, right. Well, I noticed Jackie because she's your female vocalist, and man, when I was watching her, she's a tough cookie because
Yep.
she really
Yes,
knows how to hang in there with you guys. And then I was noticing Jamesy and all his power and passion. You guys are a very passionate group when you guys play.
Yep.
I really encourage everybody, if you get a chance to, look them up on Facebook, and I probably can't really see it too good, but it's a fist with the Scottish flag,
Saltire.
that on there, and like their page and find out when they're touring and where they're going to be at, because they really are a sensational group to really check out. I mean, it'll naturally get you dancing and just feel the rhythms of everything, and then having the bagpipes in with it. And then over the weekend, you guys had a saxophone player or something.
Yeah, that was the guy Paul. I think he was running the bar in the tent,
Oh, and
and he just kind of surprised us all and jumped up. It was really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's really good.
it was a really nice addition to what you guys already naturally had
Yep.
going on, because I was with some other friends that were in the main building there that they were
Yeah.
playing. It was their last performance together and everything, and
Right.
they were a really wonderful group to be part of and stuff. But so what is your biggest goals that you want to end up creating for your lives and for people that you inspire?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to keep doing what we're doing. Really, I mean, I don't think within the circuit we're in, you can only go so far. Do you know what I mean? We just want to keep doing it and make a living and entertaining people and keeping them happy. You know.
Right, right.
It's good to play like new places as well. I mean, obviously we've had it's the start of my 4th year, but there's obviously a few gigs we do quite a lot of. Like every single year we go back to a place, which is
Mhm.
always great as well. Good to play to a home crowd. But when you go and experience another gig, like a new gig, we haven't been there before, and maybe people haven't heard us, that's always quite interesting because you get a good, a kind of good response from things,
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
So it's just about travelling. The travelling aspect's really rewarding as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
get to see a lot of America. Yeah, pretty much been through all the states. So
Oh, wow.
east, west, east to coast, east, west, to west coast. So
Well,
Pretty
how
good.
does your families like you traveling? Like,
Um,
from what I understand, you're a happily married man.
I'm not married, but
Well, in
I've
theory,
got-
you're
got-
married.
pretty much, yeah. I've got-
And you have some children and everything. So how do they like it, knowing that, oh, daddy is a traveler and a musician, and like, how do they respond to that typically?
the traveling part's hard, for everyone concerned. I mean, they don't like the fact that I go away for 2 months at a time, but also they're proud of what I do, and happy that I've got a focus and I'm like providing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. You know?
Right.
I wish I had the money that I could fly home and see them more often, but it's how I make a living. It's my job and it's my passion, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to kind of find a balance.
Exactly.
And the only good thing is, you know, when I'm home
Right.
for 2 months
Right.
solid, and I get all that time with my kids rather than
Aww.
like say I was working 9 to 5, I'd only see them for a couple of hours at night.
Right.
So I think it kind of balances out, but doesn't make it easier.
Oh, I totally understand. I get that. And for you, Colin?
It doesn't really bother me or my family. It's
We're happy to get rid of him, right?
yeah, kind of wayward traveller anyway. Always been the kind of black sheep, I suppose, but I kind of blame my parents actually for like dragging me around Europe in a pipe band. So it's kind of their fault. But no, I keep in contact. Obviously, it's a lot easier these days with things like Skype and stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
it's that a lot easier, you know. So, but it's a bit kind of, you know, I've got a fiance up north as well, and sometimes maybe I've got a week off. I'll go back up to Maine and see her.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'll just kind of stay the course and then get to see each other eventually, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, what is something that most Americans would not know about Scottish people that you could tell us?
I don't know.
You have to find out for yourself, I think.
Nice.
Give us a little hint. Like,
I think Scottish people are just like anyone else, you know, except the image that's been portrayed of Scotland is this, like, what we call the shortbread tin image. It's all, you know, mystery and it's kind of glamorized, you know, and Scottish people are the same as anyone else.
well, I know
You know,
that, but the rugged, because you have the Highland Games where men are men and da 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 da.
And sheep are weary. Yeah.
So,
Well, the Highland Games came about because we were banned from having weapons. And so it was really a way for us to kind of keep fit and train without kind of technically breaking the rules, you know.
yeah, why was that? Why was Scotland banned from having weapons?
Because we like to fight people that try to come into Scotland.
Yeah, too much of a threat, really.
So the movies are true, huh? About
to a certain,
to a certain
extent,
you know.
yeah.
to a certain extent.
Scotland was mostly like farmers, really.
Oh, okay.
We're pretty territorial.
Right.
So when people came to us with violence, then they were met with violence, you know.
Okay. Well, no, it makes sense.
Thorough violence too.
Because you guys were just being protective of your families and of your farms, your land and everything. And
That's like centuries ago. You know, obviously, that was the kind of the done thing.
We used to practice by fighting each other too, you know, because there's all the different clans and they all had different lands, so there was always fallings out.
yeah.
So maybe that's Scotland is quite good with falling out with itself.
Well, there's other countries that are like that. You know that,
Yeah.
right? Like over in
yeah.
Iraq, Iran, and the Middle East, they're kind of like that. What?
Yep.
Wow, the reflection does happen all over the world. See, we are of oneness within each other. We don't even realize it until somebody points, oh, damn. Because I found it very interesting at this whole experience. It was my first time ever going. I heard rumors that this type of stuff existed, but to actually be there and see a bunch of men in kilts, I kept being asked from friends afterwards, well, did you lift up any skirts?
That's not polite.
That's a trade secret anyway. That's like
I know. And I'm like, no, I did not do that. My dad, he's part Scot from
Alright.
his father and everything. So, but God rest his soul. He's in the hospital in process of transitioning and everything. But I wanted to do something in honor of him, you know, because I knew that he has a little bit of that in his bloodline and everything. And I just knew that if my father was much better and everything, he would have totally been at the Highland Games this weekend and definitely would have partaked in some capacity of doing those log things.
that's called the caber.
Caber.
Tossing the caber.
Oh, and I saw some women doing that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Those are the women you don't want to mess with, right? So are a lot of the women in there just that was showing me that a lot of women are pretty equal to men
Absolutely. Yeah,
over
absolutely.
in Scotland and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Scottish culture. There wasn't really. I mean, couldn't really, you all had to do the same thing. You're all living in the same land, so you all had to do. There wasn't really any differentiation between a man's role and a woman's role.
Really?
Strictly speaking.
Oh, wow. Because there are some countries and some cultures that, they look at women as, below the man or something like that.
Yeah, that's not the case in Scotland.
And they don't treat women as equals or anything like that.
You wouldn't get away with that in Scotland.
No, that's not what you get away with that.
It's never worked for me anyway.
Really? So your women
Very empowered, yeah.
are very independent and they can take care of themselves just as much as take care of the man, and you men just as much are willing to take care of yourselves as much as the woman.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
Yeah.
traditionally,
I'm quite happy for women to take care of me if I can get away with it, but usually I get a slap,
Aww. So in your relationships, because I always talk about the different dynamics in America, more and more women are so independent that I found that women, they complain they can't find a man, but they never give an opportunity for a man to be a man. So,
it's a bit of a conundrum, that really, isn't it?
yeah. So I'm curious about, that's why I asked you guys, because you're from another country, how it is and everything. And I'm like, maybe I should try me a Scotsman.
I don't think it has to be a Scotsman. I think you just need to find someone that's willing to give and take as much as you are,
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's the basis for any relationship, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I gave a lot in previous relationships. Now I'm kind of domesticated. Where I'm like, oh, you want me to cook you something? Okay, here you go. Oh, you had a hard day at work. You need a massage. Oh, okay, here you go. Yeah, I know. It's making all of you wonder, huh? No.
No. I'm actually quite a good cook, actually. I quite enjoy cooking.
You do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What kind of stuff you cook? Italian food?
No, I like, usually I'm good at fish, like salmon and stuff, and
I can vouch for
Yeah.
that. He's good with that, yeah.
I'm pretty good at that. Not bad.
And I really want to know about this food called haggis.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's
Tasty.
acquired taste.
It sounds like it.
You're better off not knowing what's in it, because if you discover what's in it, you might not try it, but if you do, it's actually quite tasty.
Really?
Try
As
it
long as
first.
there's some hot sauce added?
Oh, you don't
no.
need that spice in it already, so
Mm.
it's quite good.
Yeah.
Very few Americans enjoy it.
It's something with an intestine or stomach or
Yeah, you
something.
don't want to do that. You just eat it first and then ask what's in it.
It's like a hot dog, only different.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. What we're gonna do next, everybody, is we're gonna actually play some songs from Abanak. I got that right, finally.
Well done.
And let's pick a number. 7? Is 7 a good number?
It's as good a number as any. Why not?
Yeah, that's a good
Go
one.
for it.
I like so.
Okay. So you guys are gonna be listening to number 7, which is here.
It's going to be Tweedledee, it's called.
Little D. So I hope you all enjoy this.
But see, the CD, you're going to go, it is going to be number 7. The CD was track marked wrong.
Oh, we
So you
keep
got-
running into that.
I know. It's very confusing. It's confusing for me right now. I hope I've got it right.
Well, let's see how this goes. And then we'll bounce back with another one if it just kind of, flounders a bit or something. I don't know. But regardless, all the music is wonderful. I definitely enjoy listening to it because of how I have my living arrangements. It's very spiritual. I have Celtic tapestries even.
Okay.
I love tapestries. I've created, so the tribal Celtic music is a nice blend that I like to have resonate throughout my living quarters and stuff like that. So I'm sure everybody out there will enjoy it. So here we go. Listen. and welcome back to the Momma J Speaks show with Colin and Aya. And we have a caller. Is this Steve?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I'd like to get a large pepperoni and a... That's a joke. Hey, Mama J, I love the show today. You have some very handsome men on your show. Now, I don't understand what's going on here. Who are these guys?
Is this Lester?
Yes.
Hi, Lester. How are you, darling?
Very well. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Yes, these are my new buds.
Are they on the show regularly, or did you find them in the parking lot on the way in today?
I actually found them in the tents at the Highland Games.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you guys. Well, now, this song we just heard, obviously, it's not you aren't playing that, right?
Yeah, we're all playing in that. Yeah.
They all do
no,
it.
I mean, were you actually on the instruments physically recording the song?
Of course, yeah.
I see. Well, then I'm going to ask you a question. Like, if I was to go to Scotland, because you seem like kind of, younger guys, I mean, do kids in Scotland, do they listen to that kind of music, or are they more into, rock music and pop music and that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, you're right there. There's certain amounts of kids, depending on how they were brought up and maybe where or what type of music their parents were into. I suppose they would listen to some Celtic music, but there's just as much rock and pop out there as there is over here. So, and pretty much...
I was looking... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, I was looking online, I remember I had to live a job I was on. I had to work about 6 months in Oklahoma, and it surprised me, the farmers out there, everybody, I think the conception is that those kids out there, they're all, they're listening to country and riding horses and grabbing bulls by the horns and dragging them in the mud and all that stuff. And the truth of the matter is most of the people I met out there that were young were more into, the same types of things that anybody was into at that age. Yeah, and I know that in Scotland, like, the Eurythmics are from there, Nazareth is from there.
That's right, yep. AC/DC stuff.
I think was originally from there. Is that right?
Yep, that's true, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so they actually have, and there's even some, I kind of lean toward the harder bands. There's even some pretty hard edge, pretty popular hard edge bands that come from Scotland too, so.
Yeah, we've got a recent one, Biffy Clyro. It's a kind of like metal band, doing quite well. Even like funk bands in the 70s, like the Average White Band, they were from Glasgow as well, playing like obviously funk music as much as rock music, and it's just different genres. I think music's just so like kind of universal these days, especially with the internet.
Yes.
The advent of that, you can get hold of any type of music, so.
Absolutely. Well, Lester,
awesome.
How have you been? I got another. How have you been on your tour bus?
Well, I mean, I'm on
a tour bus show.
Yeah, I moved over to the Tampa studio. I'm on Roxanne sort of taking the lead on the entire Talk Blog network, sort of as far as straight listenership, as far volume of listenership, and I'm second right now under them. So we're moving right along. There's some other things that are developing that are going to even make Talk Blog bigger, so then that'll benefit all of us.
Ooh, I'm excited. If only I was a little bit more in the loop, so I would know. Oh, I got another call coming
Thursday,
in.
Right? Now listen, you're still coming Thursday?
Hello.
Hello, this is Steve.
Hey, Steve. You're on the Momma J Speaks show. Hey,
well,
Lester.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, thank you. Lester, sweetie, are you still there?
Yeah. I'm still here.
Okay, meet Steve McAllister. Steve, meet Lester. And Steve,
hi, Lester.
Meet Colin and Aya.
How you doing, man?
How's it going?
Good to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited. I got 4 people with me today.
I know that's where you like it, girl.
Well, Steve McAllister, he's you're from Sarasota, correct? And
yes.
You have been living off the grid now for how long?
Well, I've been living without money largely since about November of 2011. but started kind of weeding myself off in July of that year.
Weeding yourself off. I love how you say
Well,
that.
I've been weaning myself off for quite a while. I mean, I've never ever been really good at using money, but
Just a casual
went
user.
to move without using it at all about a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow. How were you able to do that?
It's a variety of ways. I mean, we do a lot of things in our life, and it's kind of, we have this myopic idea that money makes the world go around and it makes all these things happen, but it's not. It's just an added technology we've thrown into the mix in the last 7,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
But human life has lasted much longer than that. So, money is not necessarily a necessity. It's just a further complication that we add.
True. We got 1, 2, 3 people saying yes. How about you, Lester? Are you shaking your head too?
Oh, good God, no.
Oh.
Let me tell you something, Steve. Have you ever heard of the categorical imperative?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, what it is, it's a concept of a way to test morality, void of God, so to speak. And the idea is to make a determination whether you should do something or not, like, for example, running a stop sign. Should I run this stop sign? You have to imagine, what would the world be like if everybody ran stop signs? Would that have a positive outcome or a negative outcome? It would obviously have a negative outcome. Therefore, you should not run a stop sign. Now, because you can successfully live without money, you're still a benefactor of money. I mean, unless you're, just the fact that you're on a cell phone right now, you're talking on a radio show, you have transportation, you're able to travel on the street, you have street lighting, you have water provided to you. Believe me, if you have to walk with a bucket on your head to go, like food from the forest and walk to a river with a bucket on your head to live in a mud hut that you built for yourself, that's truly living outside of money. Now, if everybody in the whole world did that, could the population of the world today survive?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so, no.
That's an interesting
I think
viewpoint,
you're right.
Lester,
My
but we'll
point
get
is
back
not
to that
to say
another
we should do-
time.
I'm sorry?
I was letting Lester know that is a very interesting viewpoint, but we'll have to finish that at another time because Steve McAllister is my primary guest today, along with Colin and Aya. So, Steve, darling, could you finish your thought as to my question that I originally asked you about how you've been able to obtain and sustain yourself throughout the past year as you have weeded yourself off, as you say, from the use of the tool money?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's, Lester's partly right, and that, the society that I live in runs off of money. We've been planning it that way for a long time, and so a lot of things, you can't even imagine getting food without money. How would you do that? Well, the truth is, food grows from the earth. You plant a seed and add water and sunlight, which is all part of the natural system, and you grow food. We've complicated it so we can't imagine doing that anymore, but it really is quite simple that nature has provided for us for many years. But in other ways, there's so many other things that we have that are of value besides just Federal Reserve notes. And, I've, in the last year, found a lot of barter situations. I've done a lot of volunteering that has just reaped good karma. I have also developed a time bank, which is an alternative currency we're starting to use here in Sarasota. So there are other ways of doing things that some of them are more complicated and some of them are very much less complicated, but there are a variety of ways to operate in the world outside of using money. And so I don't think that we're all going to make a shift and stop using it altogether. However, we need to start using our currencies and our accounting practices a little bit more wisely than have been done in the last several years.
I would agree with that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We've seen with the economic crisis we've gone through, this recession and the bailouts and all this stuff, there are just, far too many shenanigans going on for us to continue to let this stuff go unchecked. Especially in a country where we say we're run of, by, and for the people, we need to realize what our power truly is as the people and not just go with the 100-year negotiation with the Federal Reserve Bank to account for all of our wealth. They've obviously done a bad job with it, put us in a lot of debt, and not only financially, but because of the environmental toll that the consumerist idea puts in place.
Yes. And can you have a project that you have going called the Flow Factory, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a warehouse that a friend of mine owns, and he's one of the first members of the Time Bank, and he has done a variety of projects in this place already, from growing rooftop gardens to inventing three-wheel bikes that run on batteries, and he's just that kind of guy who likes projects. So we're kind of clearing the space out to make it a third place. You know, it's not work, it's not home, it's a place in between where you can just kind of come and learn things and exercise and fellowship and that kind of thing. So we're going to build some climbing walls in here. We're going to have different yoga classes, meditation classes. We're going to have raw vegan potluck dinners to build on what we've already got growing on the roof. And on the 16th, we're actually having kind of an interactive garage sale and kind of visioning exercise, as well as a seed exchange.
Hold on a second. How are you going to have a garage sale?
Well, we have a lot of stuff. Well, that's the thing. We're looking at... Yeah, we're trying to set it up as free market economics. You know, we talk about the free market a lot here in America, but the fact is that in America we have a monopoly on that market. You know, it's run under the Federal Reserve note, and that's it. Only one corporation who's running our monetary system, and that kind of drives our economy. So opening up into free market economics, we're opening up so you can use Federal Reserve notes, you can use time dollars, you can use Grow Bucks or another alternative local currency we have going. You can barter for work that needs to be done for the property, and we can do gifting as well.
So, and then
that is very fascinating, Steve. That is a very cool idea and a cool concept to definitely get, people to find other avenues other than just the consumption of what we have been doing and using the aspect of the tangible money. It is actually a tool, and it carries an energy and everything, but people have taken everybody for granted. And it sounds like what you are creating with your friend, I think he's a mutual friend of ours, perhaps, maybe, because you're also involved with the Urban Spiral Dream Company as well with Misha Rubinstein, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we do some projects together.
Yes, he's a really great guy, a great connection and everything. I'm personally looking forward to doing some projects that are in synergy with what you all are doing and everything. And I was really excited to bring on my Scottish guests to give their take on everything from their perspective in their lives and everything. So
yes. Similar projects happen in Britain, not just Scotland alone. There's actually a village down, I think it's in the West Country, and they've all pitched in together, and all they grow crops for the whole community, and everyone pitches in and helps, obviously, harvest the crops as well as plant more crops and stuff like that. So it's pretty much a self-sufficient village, and there's things like the barter system where if you had say your water pipes were burst, you'd have someone coming in, fix your water pipes, but in trade, you'd maybe fix their car or butcher the meat for them, so it's all that kind of trade scheme, And there's another one called the Eden Project, which is also about their philosophy is basically they think there's enough money in the whole world to wipe out all the debt. So why don't we just kind of make the world a better place through that, and the same type of barter system, and just use technologies for our advantage rather than against each other.
This is so fantastic. I'm like, woo! So excited right now because these are visions that I've had since I was a little girl, and I've been telling my parents for years that we seriously need to go back to the bartering system because that is where humanity comes back together again, and we learn to be kind and help one another instead of always competing and being against each other and wanting to create negativity.
Money is the bartering system. You understand that, right? It's just if you need something from you want to buy oranges from Florida and you live in California, there's nothing you're going to be able to trade directly. With somebody. It's for long connecting. Yeah. Can you imagine you grow corn at your house or whatever, and that's what you have to trade. So you trade corn for everything that you need. How do you get everything in your house that you need purely by the bartering system?
depends on what your life's like. I suppose you lead a simple life. I suppose it's a lot easier than having to trade corn for like lots of kind of immaterial things. I suppose. I don't know. Just each to their
Well, I
own.
don't think you can, to be honest. I mean, you can't do it with just bartering. I think, what I hear a lot is we have to go back to bartering. And I don't think we need to go back to bartering. We move forward to the next phase. We recognize that bartering does work well because it puts people on a more even keel with one another, whereas money can serve as a proxy, and therefore you have to avoid any kind of real accountability to being a human, a person, showing compassion and decency and manners. Money can transcend that, whereas barter situation makes you more face-to-face and eye-to-eye. Now we're developing systems like time banking, and that puts people on even a more even keel and says, these are ways that we can cooperate, we can exchange our time, our services, and even our products and goods as we want to move them out and continue the circulation of our lives. And it's just about looking at other ways to do that beyond just, especially a debt-based monetary system like the Federal Reserve note.
Rock on, brother. Yes.
It's not really money that's the problem.
It's the people.
Greed.
Yeah, and it's greed.
No, it's not money that's the problem. Money is a tool.
Greed.
And having gone a year without it, I recognize where that tool can be applicable.
Right.
What we need to see about the Federal Reserve note, it's very good, or can be very good, about accounting for limited resources like oil and guns and those things. That's what it specializes in. In that market, that's where it goes. So if we kind of relegate it to that and recognize other forms of currency that account for things that are more limitless, like human ingenuity, like creativity, like compassion, like artistry, like
things turn into money, though. Every one of those things.
They can be if you want to limit them and live in a scarce world.
Yes.
But that's what we've been doing for a long time. We've been thinking all scarcity, that there's not enough to go around.
And lack
we live
of
in an
limitation.
incredibly abundant planet, and so we don't need to relegate it to a currency that is also tied to something as limited as oil, which is a fossil fuel. It's an ancient sunlight. We can start investing in the sunlight of today with currencies that provide what we really need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds
I
like
see the problem is almost opposite of the way that you see it. I think that in this country we've become hostile toward corporations. We've become hostile toward profit. That we work actively to dampen people's ingenuity. That we dampen people from wanting to work hard in this country. We become a country that has gone from working for a living to voting for a living. There's more entitlements. We have so much entitlement money going out now in this country. People are uninspired. We have such a drive for living wages and excellent benefits that we've driven industry out of this country, and that these are the issues. These are the core issues that are creating the.
But if you follow the money, if you really follow the money of our economy, though, you see that 70% of the income in 2010 went to 1% of the population. That's entitlement. But these people who, have inherited their place and their status in society, they're entitled to 70% of the profit of the work off of the backs of all these other Americans.
And 95% of the taxes in this country. And you're not even paying. You're not making money, so you're not paying taxes, which puts a higher tax burden on me. Is that how you should treat your fellow man?
Lester,
no.
are you being an antagonist again?
I'm just asking questions.
You're being an antagonist. You behave, will you?
Oh, antagonists are fun. Without antagonists, you can't have protagonists. I know which line of the fence I stand on.
We tried this all. Let's go hold our hands.
He likes to be the intellectual wrestler.
There's no political philosophy responsible for more human misery and state-sponsored murder than socialism, and all of this stuff is socialism.
That's always an
That's
interesting.
very, very opinionated.
Yeah. It's such an interesting viewpoint, Lester, but we're all pro here, so we're gonna gang up on you. Okay, I'm just saying. But Lester, I love you, brother, no matter what. And Steve, I really appreciate you coming on air. Forgive my brother Lester. He's on a tour bus, and he's cranky sometimes. But I love him.
Forgiveness required.
You should try to
Remember, you're the ones like me that you have to win over.
I missed the last one.
You guys have a good day. Thanks a lot, Momma J. See you soon.
Bye, sweetie.
Thanks, Lester.
Nice to
Bye,
talk to you, man.
thank you.
Hey, man.
Well, Lester was saying something about being run over, but anyways.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, and I get that a lot, because I'm not working, I'm not paying taxes, and I'm not supporting the U.S. government and what have you. And
but is the U.S. government truly supporting anybody
seceded
else?
from the United States on Independence Day of this year. I don't consider myself a United States citizen anymore, so I don't pay taxes to that system. 50% of every dollar I pay in taxes goes toward the military, and I think that's outlandish and ridiculous and paranoid. And I don't want to support a system like that. So I would rather work within my community with people that I can look in the eye and who I can get immediate satisfaction serving, and spend my energies there.
Are you creating your own source of energy, like electricity, or are you still on the grid?
Right now, in the facility that I'm in, we use money to pay for the electricity. Yeah. I don't currently, because I'm not the owner. I'm just kind of the caretaker here, and so I'm kind of working for my keep and doing a lot of cleaning and planning and organizing.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and what was your background prior to your decision? Because you mentioned something that you started writing a book or something called
in 2001, I left to write my book, The Rucksack Letters, and I took about a year and a half and traveled across the country visiting a variety of different intentional communities, from hippie communes, Buddhist monasteries, and yoga ashrams. And I was in New York on the day before 9/11, and just went all over, did a lot of experiences. Then I came back to Sarasota and did some video production for a while until I got married, at which time I took a full-time job at the hospital as a psychiatric technician. And so that kind of built on my psychology degree. But in that meantime, I wrote my most recent book, which is a philosophical sci-fi book called How to Survive an Estrellarian Mind Meld.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It actually is a really fun book.
Yes.
So I've gotten a lot of good feedback. I've had some people say that they've sat down and finished it in one sitting, just because it was that engaging for them. So
wow.
I've gotten good reviews.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So where is your Rucksack Letters being distributed from? Amazon, or how can people get a copy of your book?
You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, or if people want to go and read what I'm writing now, I have a website called inkensoul.com, INKENSOUL.com.
Okay.
So there are links to the books and some other stuff there as well.
Right. So, well, I really appreciate you calling in, Steve. I'm getting my 3-minute warning.
Okay.
So, I really hope that you can come into the studio in the near future and everything.
Absolutely. I'll get up there one of these days.
Yeah, I would love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you.
Sounds good.
At a Starbucks. That's where I met these guys.
Go to a local coffee shop.
Yeah. So, but thank you again for sharing your viewpoints and sharing a bit of what the Commonwealth Time Bank is. I know it's going really strong in Sarasota, but it's kind of way in here in the Tampa Bay area, and I'm really curious how we can get it flourishing here. So I'm hoping that between getting to know you better and getting to, Misha and I, we've kind of been friends in passing, but now we're starting to get something a little bit more concrete, that we can all work together along with the Bowens and stuff like that, and really help create something between Sarasota and the Tampa Bay area, and then really expand it outward into the world and everything else.
From what I've seen, your time bank is really building some steam there, though. They've been working a lot. They were one of the inspirations for us starting ours. So we're learning a lot from you guys, as you guys learn from us as well.
Really?
So
which one do you know then?
Tampa Bay Time.
Tampa Bay Time?
Tampa Bay Time Bank, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look that up because I wasn't that impressed by it. I was more impressed by the Commonwealth.
You got to understand, all this stuff is building. A lot of this stuff, these are things we've never done before. This is a brand new way of doing things. So there's going to be a learning curve as we go.
Absolutely.
But I think that the principles are sound, the values are sound, and it has great potential if we can just open our imaginations up a little bit.
Yes, because that's where the consciousness of of the universal divine intelligence or God or whatever name for that energy source that people give it is within every single one of us. And it's just a matter of opening our minds, opening our hearts, and really living up to our highest potentialities and everything. So thank you again, Steve McAllister, for joining us. And I want to thank Colin and Aya
You're welcome.
from
Yeah, cool.
Albanach from Scotland. I do hope the next time you guys are in town that you guys will come again, because, you know, we're getting a bond going here.
That'd be cool.
And but I would like to also meet the other members and stuff. And so you guys be safe when you head back overseas. Now, are you
Thank
gonna
you.
put like jet skis on the van or something? Like, how is that gonna happen?
Oh, we just dump that.
I would just leave that
Do you
somewhere.
put it on
yeah.
a barge? I mean, so thank you everyone for joining us. I really hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I was very happy and excited to have everyone come on my show, even with different points of view and opinions and everything. That's what makes the world go round. And so stay tuned next week. I will be pulling a rabbit out of my hat as to who I will have next Monday. But y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you next time on the Momma J Show. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.